New Country 100.7 The Ravens. Saturday morning with Mark. That was Jelly Roll with Lainey Wilson, Save Me. Coming up, we'll be talking with the voice of the Comox Valley Glacier Kings, Matt Purnell.
Chance for the Kings now on the power play. And it comes up to Furlong on the far side. He gets it down low to Hildebrandt. Trying to work this one out now. Comes to Weber. He's getting chopped at. No call on play, though. Back to Weber. Nice pass there. Comes over to Ben. Ben from the top of the circle. Shoots, he scores! Alex Ben from his favorite spot. And he gets one on the board. And the Kings go up 3-0 early in the first period.
Hey, Matt, that's a good call. Hey, welcome to the Raven.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mark.
Let's talk a little bit about the Oceanside Generals and the Comox Valley Glacier Kings. That's a big series. It's all tied up at one apiece, and they play tonight. Talk about the series so far.
Yeah, well, kind of a tale of the same game, just a bit of a mirror image there from Game 1 to Game 2. The Kings came out early in Game 1, had all the momentum. They looked really good. Kind of let the lead slip away a little bit at the end of the game, but, you know, for all intents and purposes, they had that one wrapped up fairly early. And then a bit of the same story, but for the Generals on Thursday night there. They, you know, went up early 2-0 in the first, 4 minutes, I think it was. And after that, they just kind of shut it down. The Kings did look good later on in that game, but, you know, it's going to be important to come out to a good start this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the reasons I've got you here is to talk about, for me, this time of year is all about the 20-year-olds. This is their last crack at junior hockey before they get into the real world. And let's talk a little bit about some of the Glacier Kings that are 20 years old. This is their final season of junior hockey. Just get your impressions of them. Talk a little bit about Tynan Klein-Beekman and what he's meant to the organization.
Just to start, all the 20-year-olds on this team are so important. You know, like you said, Tynan Klein-Beekman, Alex Ben, Logan Furlong, they're all fantastic. The thing I love about Klein-Beekman is his play in the offensive zone, not only defensively, but offensively, especially on the power play. He's really able to work the puck around. He can beat that high checker on the power play, get around him, and make a lot of space for the offensive players. And playing defense for the most of the year, and he finished fourth on the team in scoring with 16 goals. So pretty impressive from him as a defenseman.
You know, and he spent 6 seasons in this league. His first 2 as an AP, played with the Kerry Park Islanders 9 games during the COVID season, played 7 with the Campbell River Storm as an affiliate, but 132 games with the Comox Valley Glacier Kings. And I can tell you, as the broadcaster of a team that went into that building, boy, he could be tough to play against. Alex Ben, boy, I tell you, Alex Ben. What about Alex Ben? What you can tell us?
I mean, you can't talk enough about Alex Ben. He's got such an amazing shot, and he's so nifty, you know, especially down low on that half boards. You heard there in the call, he loves to shoot the puck from the top of the circle. And, you know, more times than not, it goes in. And he creates a lot of space, especially when he's playing with Logan Furlong. Furlong's kind of that big body that drives the net. And Ben, you know, he doesn't miss a beat. He was out for a few games there about 2/3 of the way through the season, and you could really tell that they missed that scoring touch up front. And I think that was the reason why they brought in another 20-year-old, Joe Weber, just to add a little bit of the depth for scoring up front there.
Yeah, you said Joe Weber's name. Of course, he played a season with the Glacier Kings, then went on to the Ontario Junior Hockey League and played 64 games with Trenton and Brantford. Talk about what he's meant since coming back to the Kings.
Oh, he's been huge, and we talk about him every week. He's such a great two-way player, both ends of the ice. He's got that scoring touch, but he's so effective on the back check. He breaks up a lot of play, especially on the rush for the opposing teams, and he's amazing in the face-off dot. I don't have his face-off stats here in front of me, but I would venture to think that he's over the 60% mark, which is unbelievable. Anytime Mike Nesbitt needs a draw to be won, Joe Weber's out there on the ice.
Blair Patagan joined the club this season from Onion Lake, Saskatchewan. Big defenseman. He means a lot on the back end, doesn't he?
I think he's probably Rob and I's favorite player on the team. He's just a joy to watch, and we love that kind of rough and tumble hockey, and he keeps it clean. And when he's going, he can run anybody over in the league, and he's got such a wicked shot, too. And you don't see it enough, I feel like. He played a little bit of forward when we had a bit of surplus on the back end earlier in the year. And when he lets that shot go, it's just a wrist shot, but it is the hardest shot, I would say, at least in the North Division. If he can get it on net a bit more, I think we would be looking at someone that has over 20 goals as a defenseman.
You know, we've got great goaltending with the Comox Valley Glacier Kings. Ryan Knighty's a 20-year-old. Talk about the California native and what he's meant to the organization since coming on board partway through the season.
He's brought in such a calmness to the goaltending position, and I think it's really helped out Ryder Lowley as well. Just allowing Lowley to maybe take a game off against the more difficult opponents. And Ryan's come in and you know, he's shut the door. I think he went 9-3 in the regular season. I can only think of one game where maybe he would like to have had a couple goals back. But you saw it in game one. He was my first star of the game. He played outstanding. He had an insane save right at the end of the game, actually 2 back-to-back. And even in game 2, they gave up a couple of goals early there, you know, a couple of weird ones. And then after that, he kind of stabilized, and it just provides an air of confidence to the rest of the team, you know, all the way from Ryder Lowley up into, you know, the forwards and the defensemen. They know that they have that big body goalie back there that could steal them a game.
You know, 3 seasons with the Comox Valley Glacier Kings, 146 points in 123 games. The captain, Logan Furlong, has meant so much to this organization.
No, yeah, and he's. I talked to Mike just before the playoffs about him, and just touched base, and you know, he's the captain, and I always wonder because he's not the most vocal guy on the ice, and Coach Nesbitt agrees. Like he's not that vocal leader who's gonna, you know, start yelling at the troops to get going. He's just gonna lead by example, and he's such a smart player. He doesn't get penalized very much. He only had 38 penalty minutes the whole year. Tied with Alex Fenn with goals and assists. You know, both have the exact same stat line at 62 points. And watching him and Ben play together, it's just so fun. I think he's a Comox Valley Glacier King legend, definitely, as he broke that scoring record. You know, and he's going to have lots of great things to come in his future.
You've got a big game tonight against the Oceanside Generals. It's a 7:30 start at the Comox Valley Sports Center. What can fans expect tonight?
Oh, I'm expecting a great atmosphere. The last 8 weeks, we've had such an amazing turnout to our games. So, for one, come out, have a great time. And as for the game, it's going to be a tight checking game. Both of these teams play physical. They're hard on the puck. You got great goaltending on both ends, lots of skill all over the ice. And then for the Generals, their captain's back after serving his 6-game suspension, Jacob Thomas. And, you know, he's been a menace when we've seen him play in the Comox Valley. So I'm interested to see how Mike Nesbitt and the coaching staff deal with his presence on the ice and how they respond after Game 3.
Matt Parnell, the voice of the Comox Valley Glacier Kings. Thank you so much for doing this, Matt.
Thank you, Mark. Anytime. I appreciate it.
Have a great call tonight. We've got Raven weekend weather coming up next.
Every veteran has a story.